Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. October 19th, 2023. This is the Bale Grazing field from last year. If any of you had seen it from, this is where we started, right about where that gray bald-faced steer is walking. We got about 2 inches of rain, and it's still pretty rough there. I think I talked about this before. We never got the rain this spring to soften the ground and get the soil health to really work on it. It's getting better. It just isn't great yet, and in another year or two we'll know whether that was a good thing or not. And it's one of the things about agricultural practices, sometimes we don't know the long-term effects until we go the long term. But got a bunch of yellow foxtail here this year. Not something I'm real concerned about. Cows and sheep eat around it. It's not a big deal, and it'll go away as it thickens. Something we've seen here this year too, our ironweed problem seems to be reducing the more we graze the sheep and cows through. And I don't know that they're grazing it out. I think it's more that the competition from the grass is getting thicker and then shading it out. Now that can be seen as two things. One, it's great we're getting rid of the ironweed and the other weeds, but that also doesn't leave any open places for clover to sprout. If the fescue's taken over enough that it's keeping the ironweed from coming, and the clover is going to have a tough time to come. So it's a balancing act. We're always going to be balancing with and trying to figure out what exactly is the right amount of pressure to make it work. And that's just part and parcel to grazing. It's always trying to figure out what's best. And sometimes I think we're better off just to do what we do, and the law of averages is going to come back and help us out and get us good. I go by one of the theories all the time: the Lord takes care of drunkards and fools, and I was one, and am one. So it just seems to happen. So I guess I just really wanted to show that. Just fed the dogs, so all three are standing right there. This before we bale grazed on it was probably our most diverse field, one of our best fields. It's half and half now. It's not our best for sure, but it's close. It's taken it a long time this year to come back. I think it will be good again next year. We'll be fine once we get all this straightened out. We're planning on doing some bale grazing this year, at least I am. We got to talk Dad into it yet, but I just thought it was a pretty picture. It's a long field with the cows and sheep all mixed together, and boy, the cows are really putting on weight this time of year. This is why we're going to finish our steers next year about this time. I just saw a first calf heifer that is doing really well. She calved 2 months earlier than everybody else, and still she's doing well. I saw her at the bull breeder the other day, so I'm sure she's probably bred, or at least let's hope. Just a great time of year. It's a good time of year to see fat cows and fat calves, and know that everything's working right. And now there's downsides. I'm not going to have a whole lot of stockpiled grass. We'll have a little bit here and there, but we're not going to have much. And I guess it's other reason why I clicked on. Beth sent me a message last night. Pittsburgh said this was the 20th driest summer they've had since they recorded, and rains were so spotty this summer. You know, we may be above or below that even. All of our rains seem to come early in the year, and one of the reasons for this picture is because this is when we got 2 inches of rain one night. I think while we were in this field, we got somewhere between 5 and 8 inches in about a 6-day period or 8-day period. So a lot of our rainfall, the 27 inches Pittsburgh says we got like 8 inches of rain while we were right here feeding bales. And then we didn't get nothing for the spring. We made first cut in hay. We had some fields that were 30% of the yield of last year. Our dad's total hay yield is 3 bales more this year than last year, and we made 75 bales a second crop that we didn't make a year ago. So that's how much our hay was down. So it's the dry period. They're not willing to call it a drought because we're not low on rainfall or low enough on rainfall, but it's the timing of the rainfall that has really killed us. We spent a month this summer not making hay because they said it was going to rain every day, and it didn't. They say it's going to rain tonight. I don't know that it's going to rain all that much. It just never seems to. We get a little sprinkle, but we don't get a shower, so we don't get a heavy shower. So it's always interesting. The weatherman says we're going to get a half inch and we get 1/10, but it's nothing we can complain about. We just got to deal with it the way that it is. And we're gonna not have any stockpile grass, but we'll just feed hay. And I kind of knew that was coming as I'm thinking about pasture walk next Thursday. I knew that this year was going to be just one of those years that we were going to do what we could do, and what we can't do, and that's just the way it is. With everything I've had going on this year, I think it's pretty successful to get to this point and still have grass. If we have to feed 150 days of hay, that's just fertility that we've got to feed. Scarlett come up to see me. She noticed I was sitting still. She went away from guarding her dog food. I'm going to have to wrap the video up because they're all going to walk away from their dog food and the cows are going to get it. So with that, I'll say we'll see you next time.